Tyler.
Hey, man.
How you doing?
I'm good. How about you, David?
I'm doing good.
Hey, man, here we are. We're starting our 10th year of ArtStreamLIVE.
That's amazing.
And we're in the box. So, tonight...
We're not outside the box.
No, we're in the box. Yeah. So, this is our January 18th, 2020 ArtStreamLIVE.
Right.
And the topic tonight is, they paid what?
Yeah,
that much. How you say it sounds different. They paid what? Yeah, so we're going to... Art and the value of art. It's always a fun topic. It tends to get people kind of talking.
Yep.
And I think this will be fun tonight.
They paid what?
They paid what? What some art happens to be worth. And you know, the value of art, like we used to know, whatever you can get for it is what it's worth.
Right.
I thought it would be fun to start with what is the world. A lot of people would have thought the Mona Lisa was the world's most expensive painting. Right artist, wrong painting. This is a painting here that is the most expensive. You see there, $450.3 million. It was painted by Leonardo da Vinci. It was discovered. It was a lost work that's been refound. It's the savior of the world. Salvator Mundi is the name. And they believe it was 1490 to 1500. They've authenticated it. It is an original Leonardo da Vinci. So I thought, but you know, let's get into some fun things here with art and what people will pay for art. Piero Manzoni. He's an Italian, 1933 to 1963. He has passed away, but what he did here, and I have done a little bit of Big Buck Censorship, you know, Big Buck Ghost Control Censorship Division. And he had artists, I think you can figure out, and he actually packaged up his own excrement into containers, 30 grams, and canned it, and this happened back in May 1961.
Well, that stinks.
Well, yeah, it does, and his art did stink, but what's fun about it, when he did it, he valued them according to their value in gold by weight. Back then it was $37. Well, what happened is he made a certain number of these. He produced, you know, 90 tins of this. That's a lot of you know what. But he produced it. Well, they have survived, and certain cans have gone on auction. And in 2007, one of them sold for $133,000, a little bit over that. And then we get into 2008, and one of them sold for $154,000.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, we kind of got, like the guy said, do I detect a stinky art theme here going on? Well, in a way we do. Zhu Chang Hara. He's a Chinese artist. And what he did, he produced art with excrement. But here's what's fun about this one. It's panda bear poo.
Okay.
So there you go.
Wow.
Venus de Milo and excrement. How about the Museum of Non-Visible Art?
Now, I've seen this one. Yeah,
I love this. Now, on the wall there is a piece called Fresh Air, and it was made in 2011, and it's a non-visual, pure thought artwork.
Well, all I can say is it's a good thing he framed it.
Yeah. And, you know, it's guaranteed to actually be in the artist's mind. And there is the artist right there. And it's actor James Franco. And he's actually holding the work, but of course you can't see it because it's in his mind. But it's guaranteed to be in the artist's mind. And that's the point. Somebody paid $10,000. I kind of like this guy, Justin Zignac. And he got the idea. He's a designer. And he was working with coworkers saying that he believed that if you package anything, you can sell it. Well, they said they didn't believe it. So he took the challenge on. He got the idea to package up New York City garbage. But what he does, like they had one time when President Obama had been in New York, he was able to collect the garbage that had been created at that event, and he started placing it in these plexiglass cubes. And he started selling them for $50. Well, people started actually buying them, and it became an art. And so he's raised them up to $100. Tracy Emin, British artist. This piece is called My Bed. She did it in 1988. This period of her life, she was having some very severe relationship problems. She was very depressed, contemplating suicide. She spent a lot of time in her bed. So she made her bed, and articles from her apartment or wherever she was at the time became the actual art piece. But this actually went on display. It was bought by Charles Koch for $200,000. So he bought the piece for his gallery to display it. Well, in 2014, he put it up for sale at Christie's auction house, and it got $4.4 million.
Wow.
Now, that's a good return on $200,000.
I'd say so.
Now, I like us in the money border. I thought it'd be fun. Why don't we talk about some more established famous artists? A lot of these are artists from minimalist, abstract expressionism. And they're famous artists, most of them. There's a few I hadn't heard of. But I think this will be fun for people because sometimes, you know, somebody's famous. But some of their pieces come up. It may not be their best piece, but the fact that they're famous, they can get a big prize. So I thought, why don't we look at some of these and just get an idea of what can happen in the world of art and value of art. Okay? So here we go. Lucio Fontana, Concetto Spaziali Attest. This guy would make canvases and slice them. This particular one has 24 cuts in it. He was doing the textural minimalistic type thing, breaking the surface up. Well, it came up for auction. You see there in November 2015, Sotheby's was able to get over $16 million for the piece.
That's a lot of lettuce sliced there.
Lucio Fontana, he didn't benefit from it. He wasn't here. All right, now a lot of folks know this guy, Ellsworth Kelly. And, you know, now we're dealing with an American sculptor, painter, printmaker. He worked in field color painting and minimalism, and you can't get much more minimal. How about a green oval that's off? It's not a perfect oval. A lot of people look at it and go, what? That's just a picture of a green oval. You're right, that's exactly what it is.
Green blob. Yeah.
But somebody paid $1.6 million for it. And this other piece over here done in 1958 called Cowboy. And I got the dimensions on it to give people how big they are. $1.7 million. And here's a good example, like I was talking about, Jean Moreau. Well-known artist. I like a lot of the things he did.
Right.
I don't think this is one of his better pieces.
I don't think so.
But the fact that he's known, and he's got the name and the historical content, the background, they could get $2.2 million for it. And hey, I don't make this stuff up. All right, Barnett Newman. Now this kind of gave me flashbacks to my days in college.
Here's a big name in minimalism.
Oh yes, and I had an art historian teacher.
Actually, he influenced me a lot in college.
We spent a week in a modern art class. He spent a week talking about this guy. He loved this guy's painting. So I thought, but after a week of that, I was getting a little, it was hard, but I made it. But yeah, and he is an important artist for that time. I love the photograph of him. I just thought that was perfect.
Looks like Perot.
Yeah. And then you get the different pieces, see what people pay for. Now this is somebody I wasn't as familiar with. Linky Palermo. He's a German artist. And he got into the art world, but he would stitch fabric together a lot of times or paste things on. But his work, $1.7 million.
There you go.
So that's another one. Now here's a famous one, Gerhard Rittner, considered one of Germany's most incredible, important modern artists. But you want minimal?
Yep.
Here it is. It's actually a mirror with oil paint, and you can see the dimensions, pretty good size, for $1.1 million. All right, Mark Rothko, American. And a lot of people are very familiar with his work, and a lot of people go, what? These are just rectangles. Well, you know, one of the things, he never did want to really describe his paintings. You notice a lot of them have no title. He didn't want to influence people. What he was really after was a sense of capturing emotion through paint. He said one of the greatest compliments he could ever get was when people were in a gallery or museum looking at his work, some people would break down in tears. And he thought, to him, that was the ultimate compliment because he felt they understood his work and they were getting what he was trying to do. But you can get an idea of what his works go for. One went for $86.9 million. One's red and yellow, $46.5 million, $28 million. Now, I've always found, you know, Cy
Twombly.
Twombly.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had difficulty
I know.
warming up to this guy.
Well, you know, that looks like a chalkboard there on the right. The scribbles all over it. And he was a sculptor and photographer, and he belonged to the generation of Robert Rauschenberg, Jasper Johns. And a lot of them were large scale, but basically freely scribbled, like graffiti art. And solid fields of color. It said usually you worked over tan or gray or off-white colors.
Right.
But here you can see, now I tried, when I could get dimensions, I tried to put them on it, you know how large these are, but look, $69.6 million.
Yeah.
Now, the artist didn't hear. He's not benefiting from it. I went down there, just a chicken feed, $3.74 million. But this is what they're going for. Now, this guy, if you want to look him up on the internet, go for it. See some of the other words he uses in his art. They're not always very nice.
I can guess.
Yes. But I kind of like this blue full. And I'll say this, less materials than amylon aluminum. It's going to be around, but look at the size of this thing.
That's big.
That's big, you know.
9 by
Yeah,
6 feet.
it's 6, yeah, 9 by 6 feet. Good size. 5 million. So these are paintings, and I thought, well, what about photographers? Okay, well, this guy's an interesting gentleman. Kevin Ambosh. He's Irish. Now, he does a lot of portrait photography, and he's done some famous celebrities. Now, one of the things he said he likes to photograph are potatoes. Now, this is one of his particular favorite ones he did. This is potato 345. Now, this was in his studio hanging. He had one of his collectors over for dinner, and the collector continued looking at the pieces they had to meal. The collector really liked it. He wanted it. Well, the artist said, it's not for sale. It's one of my favorites also. I want to keep it. Well, the guy kept pushing and pushing. When he hit the right level,
hit the right number,
the guy let it go for $1.5 million. Now, this guy, he's interesting, Andreas Gursky. He's German, and he teaches. And, you know, he does architectural photographs. And a lot of his things have a high level of angle of looking down. Here's the line number 2. In 1999, he did this, 1999. Well, this has been the world's most expensive photograph. $4.3 million. It's 6 by 12 feet. It's a big image. Well, so far as we know, and that's an auction record. That's the highest paid photograph. But we've got a guy that's contending against that in the next one. This gentleman, Peter Lick, he's from Australia, and he claims he's got the world's most valuable photograph called Phantom, and he's a landscape photographer, and he claims that a private collector purchased that piece from him for $6.5 million. Now the question marks are there for a reason. Since it's a private collector, it's hard to verify. The New York Times has taken an argument with it, said no, he didn't really do it. But he claims he has. Now, we had
the famous banana.
The famous banana had to do this. Now, Maurizio Catalan, he likes to poke fun with art. He does a lot of sarcastic, satirical pieces. He's the guy that came up with the idea for the duct tape banana. He's the artist. And as people know, now he called it comedian, and it did sell. There was a couple that paid $120,000 for it. They bought it because they think it's going to become an iconic historical object. Now, whether it will or not, I don't know. They actually sold 3 of them. This guy is the real artist.
That's right.
David Datuna. He comes from Georgia, over in Europe. He is an American, born 1974. He's the guy that walked up, peeled the duct tape off, and ate the banana at the Art Basel. And he did it on, of course, with our technology, it went out over the web. And he called it's a performance piece. He called it Hungry Artist. He did it in 2019. And to me, this is priceless.
That's
I love this. And what he did, and he's a pretty good artist. People look him up, and he's got some pretty neat paintings. But he is an installation artist, and what he said was he's not apologetic at all, He says it wasn't vandalism. It was an art performance for me, and I am absolutely not sorry. He had a press conference, and what he said, like the gallery said, it's not a banana, it's a concept. I just take the concept of the artist. So I think this is cool.
That's right.
But, you know, talking about priceless art, I think the next slide's even more priceless.
There it is.
Our co-founder of ArtStreamLIVE, Charles Smith. And we wanted to give an update of what's going on with Charles right now. And Charles has got an exhibition going on. And the exhibition title is From the Kingdom, Charles Smith. And it's over at the Oro Keith Museum in Biloxi, Mississippi.
Right.
It's in the gallery, their gallery called the Vogelvage Gallery of African American Art. It opened on December 3rd, but it's up through the 7th of March in 2020.
Plenty of time to go see it.
And one last thing, do not forget, Monday is a special day.
Yep.
Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And so I think we've had an interesting ArtStreamLIVE tonight. So we'll give them our credit page here. Show them what we've got. Now, we thought, why couldn't Big Buck be art? We've had him behind us tonight.
That's right.
So if you want to give us an offer,
he deserves some duct tape.
you know, there you go.
That's right. You can find ArtStreamLIVE.
Yeah. And we wanted to just give some credit to the nice resources I was able to find on the internet tonight. Our fair use clause. Thank you everyone for watching tonight. We hope you've enjoyed the webisode.
Yeah.
And I think it's another one in the can. I think it's a great start off to our 10th year.
It's in the box.
It's in the box. You notice the duct tape thing. I could not resist. I'm sorry.
Well, it's cheap. It's
Yeah.
still cheap, so.
Hey, you could do anything with duct tape. Ask NASA. They've saved
That's right.
astronauts' lives with duct tape.
Yeah.
They actually
Sinking
have.
boats.
So duct tape's a great thing. All right.
And as always, after I run the credits, there's always a slight little bonus.
So don't miss that.
Sometimes it's worth waiting for, sometimes it's not.
Well, I want to thank everybody for watching tonight. Thank you.
Bye.
I hope you've enjoyed.
Good night.
Good night.
When you see the darkness falling, and you meet an earthly shore. When you see the darkness falling, you'll